Tiny Factory, and welcome to Betsyville. The news of the day, some stuff came in. One of the important things is brushable seam sealer. It finally arrived. This poor can has spent about 10 days going back and forth between cities in California, but you know what? It finally made it here. So I can resume sealing the bottom of the car and getting it all painted. So that is what I am doing today. It's going to feel great to get back to this. I'm actually a little sore today. I had to do the first of my holiday honeydews, and that was being on my hands and knees working on the floor in the kitchen, doing a little refinishing, and boy, my bones are tired. Not much to see. I mean, it's just me seam sealing and painting and stuff. Okay, see you when I'm done. I'm waiting for paint to dry, and because of that, I am just working on other projects. I'll be using a piece of leftover tube to make some brackets I need for the muffler clamps. I know previously I'd said that I had bought some aftermarket muffler hangers, but they just weren't very robust and they stretched a lot. Here's the aftermarket one. You can see how thick it is. I mean, it's a standard looking type of thing. It's kind of made out of tire-like material. You can see how stretchy it is. Here's one of the aftermarket ones that came off. Look at the difference. This one was still hanging on, and you know, it's still flexible, but it doesn't bend, it doesn't stretch that much. This hanger was under the car for 25 years, and it's not the worse for wear. But because I put in my GT supports, I wanted to go with the GT brackets or muffler hangers. Be aware that as delivered, both of these brackets were turned around the wrong way. If you imagine the back of the floor pan has a slope to it, this is supposed to bolt to that slope, and it's supposed to bolt right into the back of the muffler. And with them turned around the other way, as you can see by the angle here, it doesn't work right. But that's the only problem with it. And then it allows to have flexibility so the exhaust system can expand and contract. This next task is just working out the geometry for the muffler hangers. I guess I'll just give you a picture of it and you can see what I'm working through. That these muffler hangers hang down just like that. So let me get a couple of nuts on there. I decided to use nylock nuts here. I don't have to over tighten them and they'll stay put. Well, you know, that is touching there, but that doesn't really make a difference because it's going to be bolted to it anyway. You know, and even if it's got a little bit of a twist to it or whatever, basically what's supposed to happen is the muffler has a bracket right here with two holes in it, and you bolt this to that. So the muffler would be all the way back here and then going over. But I'm running a larger pipe than normal, so the muffler kind of has to be that way. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is take this right here. So it's got a bracket like this, and then it comes over and then it has a tang that sticks out. So let's see, is this going to work? Okay, I'm back under here again. You can hear Barry talking in the background because it's Cars and Coffee night. Okay, well, here's the plan. I've made this bracket, and I'm going to give it a shot here. We'll see how that hangs. When they're both on there, I think the 65 will be plenty thick. Although this is like closer to 80. This bracket here is probably 80 thousandths. And that's only 65. So, you know, I could make the brackets out of 80, I suppose, but they don't bend around the pipe real easily when you do that. So, we'll just see how that hangs. If it's strong enough to hold that up there. It looks a little flimsy, doesn't it? I guess I'll just have to yeah, it seems just a tad flimsy. Okay, so here is my final bracket design. It's just a U-channel that I have welded to the pipe. There's no way to make it clamp and come out strong and square, so that's what I'm doing. So, and there you have it. This is the final mounting of the GT style. Let's get up in here, take a look-see. Just like that. That is the GT style mufflers hanger. Not bad. Good, solid. Welcome to Dawn's Manufactory. Boy, I have really buggered up my knee. I don't know what I did, but I woke up with it this morning and I can barely walk. So it has really put a damper on my plans for today. But if I can get a second coat of chassis black on the bottom of this car, I'm going to do that, because all I got to do is roll around on my creeper and paint. So I'm going to give that a try and see if I can get that done. In the meantime, let me show you around. So here's what I've been doing. I got all this stuff seam sealed, and now I'm painting. I got to figure out how I'm going to paint the inside of this torque box, because I would sure like to get some kind of paint in there. And the fuel line comes through here, and I am definitely going to figure out how I'm going to let me rephrase that. I want to figure out some kind of a grommet for this, because the fuel line comes through here and then runs up along the frame rail. And I want to seal that so water coming off the wheel cannot just shoot straight into the torque box. So I'll figure that out. I mean, even if it's just a piece of rubber, like rubber inner tube that I put on the fuel line and slide it down the fuel line, and I can just take some seam sealer, just stick it on there, and that'll stop water from going in, but the fuel line can still be free to move. Okay, so that is what I've been doing. See back here, I got the inner fenders all painted and filled with seam seal down there in that corner. Everything looks pretty good. It's all sealed and painted. I've got all this painted under here now and seam sealed. Down here in the torque box, all that is seam sealed. Subframe connectors, all of that's all
painted up real nice.
But I got to get into my grubbies.
So after I finally got down, it did okay on my knee. It was a little difficult getting down there, but once I was down, hey, just went for it. I just left all this footage in because I figured it gives you a good look at what the bottom sides of Betsy looks like, all painted up and everything, and just, you know, where I am with the project and how far along I am. It's looking pretty good to me. It's not a rotisserie job, but it's looking pretty good to me. Well, good enough that I don't want to do any more. I'm really slathering in the paint here. I'm really trying to make sure that there are no cracks or openings anywhere that water can get in. There's even holes in the frame that I'm going to have to plug. It just seems like odd places to put a hole so that the wheel can just throw water to the inside of the frame rail. I don't know, maybe it had sealer on it at one time, but it sure as heck going to have sealer on it now. Really trying to paint that seam sealer along the edge of the floor pan really well. Had to wear my respirator even though I'm not spraying paint. This is catalyzed, so there's isocyanates in it, and just the vapor from the evaporating paint is harmful to your mental health. Kind of getting a pretty good coat in there. I also went ahead and put another coat on the wheel wells. I mean, it can't hurt. I hadn't second coated the pinch weld, so I got that in there too. And in the back where the drop down in the trunk is, I got the underside of that painted up real good. Just kind of making sure that every spot that I had taken rust out and treated and painted was getting another coat of catalyzed paint.
Okay, so that's it for the painting. I know it was short, but it's all that's necessary. Got my brush cleaned. Everything is ready to, I'm ready to go in and rest this knee again. Thanks for watching Don's Manufactory. Later.